You're watching the Coach Penny Hardaway Show.
Great start to the week. Electric at FedEx Forum, knocking off Wichita State. 9-5, 1-0. Those are good things. Oh, and by the way, a net. That's the new ranking system they will use to field NCAA teams, NIT teams. 77 in that. And Houston has a 4 rating, so you knew you were going to have your hands full.
Oh, absolutely. This team is undefeated. They've been playing really good basketball. I watched them play like 4 times this year. You understand what they're going to do going in, but then it magnifies once you get to that arena, because everything that they do is on heart and hustle and being together. You know, it was a lesson learned for a lot of us, how hard they played, how well they played together, how they moved the ball, and you know, that's why they're undefeated right now.
They have this new arena, and it is gorgeous. They've really done a heck of a job. In facilities, they've spent about $100 million in the last 2 or 3 years with the new stadium and their new development center that's named after former coach Guy Lewis. This is light and airy and loud.
Yeah, it's only 7,000 people in there. It's not a bad seat in the house. They did a phenomenal job of where they came from to where they took this arena to. Is very beautiful in there, and I'm happy to see it go to this level.
This was a big night for Kareem Bruton. He will come in and play. You started Isaiah Maurice because Mike Parks is a dad, a young little baby boy, the 3rd player you have with a child now.
Yeah, Mike had the birth of his son, and he missed like 3 or 4 practices because she thought she was going to have the baby earlier. So coming down to Houston, we didn't think that it was fair to him to start because he hadn't been in the practice, and plus he had been up all night, you know, receiving his son. And you know, we were excited for Mike in that aspect, and we were ready to go and play this game.
This team had 14 steals in this game, Houston did. They are so active. Senior guards that are all athletic. They were a handful.
Yeah, this product of the Houston players didn't happen overnight. Like you said, senior players that have gone through their bumps and bruises, and it's taken coach this long to get his style and his like-minded players in there. And these seniors, they lead their team, and you can tell the entire team is buying into what they're teaching.
And they move it so quickly. 20 assists on 33 buckets made. And you mentioned one of the first things on our post-game show was how intense they play. As hard as any team you saw, hard screens, great angles.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're being coached well, and they're all listening. They're all cutting hard, sprinting the floor hard, playing defense together, doing all the things that we're trying to teach our team to do. And we told our freshmen after the game to just learn from what happened today and let's move forward. But I really respect Coach Sampson and the job that he's doing in Houston.
Even Davenport, always consistent, at least on that offensive side for you so far this year.
Yeah, I mean, Keevan is, to me, one of the best players in the country. I don't know if he knows that, though. You know, he's a guy that I haven't seen anybody stop yet to this point. And he plays a strong game, like you said, on the offensive end every game. Defensively, we want him to block more shots and be more active, but offensively, he's been dominant.
This team was dead-eye, too. Not necessarily so much with accuracy. They only shot. You actually outshot them percentage-wise, but they got a lot of shots because of offensive rebounds, and they turned you over 17 times.
Yeah, that's the problem. We went into the game saying that we had to box out because we knew that was a part of their deal, and then we felt like we couldn't turn the ball over, you know, to get that fast break going. That's why they get a majority of their threes in transition.
I loved it. You fell behind by 14 and then made a 10-0 run to make a game of this. Bruton was a big part of that for sure, but then this team is just relentless, and they got a lot of athletes. That's a freshman Hinton, a kid out of Gastonia, North Carolina, who's got jumping jacks for legs.
Yeah, first to talk about Kareem Bruton. What a great game he had, 25 points in 25 minutes. And he was ready to play yesterday. And like you said, that freshman Hinton, I mean, he played with so much energy and just knew exactly what he wanted and knew who he was out there on the floor with energy, creating turnovers, knocking down mid-range jump shots, threes, and getting to the basket. So, I mean, that's just a product of what they're doing every day in practice.
I want to go back to Bruton for just a second because you mentioned 25 points, 25 minutes, and I think you said after the game, you got to figure out ways to give him a few more minutes.
Yeah, I mean, Kareem has been trying to battle, you know, finding his way around because last year he started a lot of games and was a focal point. He hadn't been as big of a focal point for our team, but we're trying to get him to that level because we have to take advantage of his great scoring.
Time for the Cooks Pest Control Player of the Week, and that would be Kevin Davenport, who just seems to deliver you, I think, 17 points every game out now.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Kevin is a guy that, man, he's hard to stop, and we're happy to have him, and this is a big year for him his senior year, and he's playing really well for us.
I can remember, Coach, back in the day when you were a player, I think we were still taking commercial back then. It's all changed. Inside Access is coming up. You'll get a look at exactly how first class it is when you travel with the Tigers.